What's up everyone, Fritz here again with another live cop, and today I'm going to be covering the Yeezy 350 MX rock drop that was a couple of weeks ago at this point. That was at the end of December 2021, and now we are currently in January 2022. This drop was pretty difficult for me because a lot of things that quite frankly aren't my responsibility, or quite frankly I have no control over, did not go my way. I will get into that as we go along in this video, but this is a great example of why you really need to understand your setup. You need to understand how you're deploying your proxies, how you're divvying those up between bots. Again, there's a lot of factors in your setup that just the better you understand, the better you're going to be able to adapt to issues as they come up. And this was a drop for me where there were significant issues heading into the drop. So now I'll get into kind of what went wrong and what caused me these issues. So I do want to say, starting off, that I've used AWS, their servers, for quite some time, and I really don't ever have any issues with them. I really do speak highly of them. I would recommend them to pretty much all of you if you're looking for a server. I've done tutorials on how to set up an AWS server. So just neither here nor there. I use them regularly and they do work well. So I'm not putting them down and telling you not to use them. But during this drop, at about 7:10, I was running for Finish Line and JD Sports, just running a couple tasks. I had started to bring up my other servers. I had started to set up for the day and just generally get ready. At about 7:10, all of my AWS servers froze. And when I went to the dashboard, I couldn't shut them down. The wheel was just spinning, and essentially all of my bots were on there. Some of them running, some of them having Gmails running. As far as Finish Line and JD Sports, it took me 30 minutes to shut down those tasks, wasted a lot of data. So basically, I just had a big issue with getting all of my bots onto other servers. I'd already put some of them on there. Some of them I had rented, so I needed to contact those people to get the keys reset. If you understand anything about how you move bots around, this was obviously an issue for me, and this was obviously a problem because I hadn't really planned on how to get my setup right with just one server and my computer. So this was obviously a big issue for me going into this and threw me off quite a bit, leaving me only about 60 to 90 minutes to get all of this correct, get the bots off of the servers, shut down the bots, make a new plan, and then deploy that plan. So that was obviously a big issue. I did get set up, and I'll go into more how I did now, but I should have done a lot better. I didn't run a couple bots that I planned on running, and I only ran an instance of a few bots like Valor instead of two. So this did cause a problem, but I ended up having an okay day. So like I said, I just tried to do the best I could with the situation. I was not able to contact the person that I rented mech from, so I had two instances of those. That's not their fault, right? Like, this was very close to the drop, and I just was not able to get in contact with them in time to get those keys reset and get them on to my other bots. So that was unfortunate. And then, like I said, I didn't run two copies of Valor. You can usually run two instances. I only ran one. So that did hurt me. Like I said, and I had a just better overall setup. I didn't get to deploy all of the proxies necessarily, and I didn't have them on the bots that I wanted, which definitely affected my success. But again, I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't have any bots to run. I still had some of the best bots, and I still had success. But I did have a bigger setup and probably would have had more success had none of this happened and the servers just worked like they always had. So luckily, I was able to get certain bots set up. I had to go to my backup AWS account because, again, on my dashboard, none of the servers were responding. I couldn't turn any of them off. I couldn't shut any of them down. It just was not working. So I went to my backup account, tried to get the bots on there that I could, like I said. And then from there, again, I wasn't able to deploy the setup that I wanted. I had to just go larger proxy groups and not have it be as specific or as fine-tuned as I would like. So I just put some big groups on there with a couple residentials and then my XYZ subnets. So I got those set up in time, but again, it wasn't what I planned on having, and it wasn't quite the setup that I wanted. But like I said, I worked with what I had and I did the best I could. I'm fairly happy with that because I'll be honest, with about 60, 90 minutes left, having to redo this whole plan, regroup, I can imagine a year ago that would have thrown me off and I maybe would have only gotten one bot up and running. I'm very happy that I was able to calm myself down, just get my shit together and go from there. So now getting into what I actually ended up running. I know that was a lot to begin with, but just kind of wanted to articulate A, that I had a problem going into this drop, and that B, just because you see somebody that does well botting does not mean that things don't go wrong and that they don't run into problems. But in the end, I ended up running one instance of Valor. I ran Wrath, Whatbot, and Noble. I've run all of these bots before, but I will say that I think that this is the best overall performance I've had across the board with all bots that I ran. I've had plenty of drops before where I've hit 20, 30 pairs on a bot and then had a goose egg on 2 bots. So I have been trying to just get better at running 4 or 5 bots at a time and making sure that I'm still hitting on all those bots, not just running more bots and getting nothing out of them, because that's in general just a waste. So I was really happy with that, and I'll get into the numbers now. Real quick, the trend that I've been talking about in the videos or live cops that have involved Yeezy supply continues. This drop went on for 2 to 3 hours. So just a data point that that's kind of where they've been headed with the drops lately. I am posting this mid-January, so in about a week from now, I should be getting this up tonight, tomorrow. But in about a week, we've got the Yeezy 350 blue tints. That will be a big drop. So just keep that in mind heading into that these drops on Yeezy supply have tended to drag on a little longer. So just be prepared for that. So I ended up with 40 pairs on the day. I was pretty happy with that despite the issues that I had at the beginning of the day. I ended up hitting 13 on Wrath, 11 on Noble, 9 on Whatbot, and 7 on Valor. So this was the worst I had performed with on Valor for quite some time, so that was a little disappointing. Could be because I only ran 1 instance. But other than that, I was thrilled with the other numbers. I'm thrilled with 13 on Wrath. I did the best I've done ever on Noble with 11. And then Whatbot, this was the first time in a long time that I've really felt like I was doing well with it. So overall, happy with 40. And like I said, I had a pretty even spread. Would have liked to have had a second instance of Valor in there, but you know, gotta go with what you got. As far as what proxies work for me, if you watch this channel regularly, it's pretty much what I go with all the time now. XYZ and Diamond had a little over 10 each, so those were my best performers, and that'd be XYZ subnets, their ISPs, love them. Probably my favorite proxies out right now that I use on a regular basis. And then Diamond residentials, so like I said, each of those had over 10 each. And then the remaining 15 were split somewhere on Lemon, somewhere on Live, and then somewhere on Secure. So those were the 5 proxy groups that worked for me. And again, I would recommend any of those to you if you can get into those groups. All of those are residentials other than Live, which is a hybrid that I've talked about, and XYZ, which are ISPs. So during this drop, residentials did better for me overall, but XYZ subnets did really well too. I just want to hammer home too, since this is a video that's focused on Yeezy supply drops and that the blue tints are coming up in a week. Your Gmails need to be right for you to get any pairs right now on Yeezy supply. If you test the quality of your Gmails on AYCD or Kylan or Kodai Essentials, whatever the case may be, if you test the quality of them and you get a 0.9 but not a 1-click, I know that companies tell you 0.9s are fine right now. I know they're like, they'll work. They don't work nearly as well. I just don't listen to them. You need to have 1-clicks if you are serious about hitting a lot of pairs. Obviously that can be hard to do, but you need to make that a priority. You need to make that a priority over proxies, over cards, over running for other sites. If you are trying to get on Yeezy supply, you need to have Gmails that are 1-clicks, and you need to keep farming them to keep them that way. The couple times this year when I haven't had 1-clicks and I've had 0.9s, the results are almost non-existent. So I'm not here saying that you can't get a checkout with 0.9s, but you need 1-clicks. Anyways, that's all for the intro to this video. I do want to touch on one more thing before I continue, and that's going to be the Flex raffle system. A lot of you have been asking me about that. That's obviously a hot topic in the botting and sneaker community right now. I will be doing a video this coming week after the Jordan Thunder Red 4s. That's been the first time that I've been able to try Osiris Rafflebot with the purchased accounts at scale. So I will have a video up that went fairly well for me. There were a lot of issues, but they seem to be issues that I'm going to be able to fix, and I did have some success. So if you are looking for that or you are curious about that, I will have a second video up. I put a video up a couple weeks ago that was an intro to the changes that they have made, but I will be putting up another video that's going to go over how I did on the Thunder Red 4s with Osiris and the accounts that I purchased. So that will be coming up in a couple of days. Just wanted to throw that in there. So as always, just let me know in the comment section below if you have any questions, comments, debate topics, anything that I can help with. Please feel free to share it there. And other than that, just enjoy the footage. And like I said, I'll have another video up this week. So until then, see ya.
Go, go, go. Text it. Text.
like how the sizes can honestly like make or break even going for a shoe. Okay, let's go, Noble. Give me a fake card. Fuck out of here.
That's fine. A lot of bots should add.
It's so helpful. Like, cause like I don't know sometimes whether or not to like shut down a bot because I don't know how much data necessarily I'm wasting on that one bot. But like that's a really useful feature. Well, I thought I had left my task just running, and I was like, oh my god, dude, if this just keeps running all day and drains all of my 10 diamond gigabytes, I would have freaked out.
Shit, I would be mad for you.
Right? Because like and I mean, it's not like I could go to diamond and be like, hey, because I used the data, like. Okay, Whatbot? Got me another? Whatbot? Okay, got me a third. I spoke too soon today.
Word, just needed to wait it out a little bit.
Well, I was saying earlier, I was like, because all of my servers were down at that point. Like AWS on my dashboard literally said like you can't, like I couldn't even access any of them. I was about to throw my dude. I was freaking out, and I was like, all right, bro, you just need to chill out. There's nothing you can do. Sat down, meditated for 10 minutes. Got about 10 so far. This is kind of what you'd be looking at if you're actually running this. Hit on all 4 of the bots so far. Hit on Valor, Wrath, Noble, and Whatbot. And this should go on for another hour or so. Yes, I restarted Valor and I changed my Gmails and I hit.
I think I'm about to do the same shit. Change my Gmail.
Yeah, because dude, I think based off the stock from the last drop, I think we've got another hour to go.
Yikes.
Yeah, like I mean, you know what I mean, do what you will with that. That's a lot of data usage, but I do think at this point with these drops, like just completely shutting a bot down and switching out the Gmails isn't a bad move. So for Whatbot. Got decline on Noble. Man. more breath.
Yeah.
I literally 10 seconds ago I got a checkout on there, but I'm not like passing splash much anymore at all. I haven't passed splash in a couple minutes, or I haven't got a notification. Hey, Noble finally got me another one. Oh shit. Wow.